Yo, what up, YouTube? Welcome to Sinn-Take, man. My name is Jason. Coming back with another one, man. Listen, man, it's Monday, fun day. Hopefully, y'all having yourselves a good one, man. The Most High done woke us up this morning. Let's take this opportunity to be great, you know what I mean? Because we big blessed, nothing less. So y'all already know we got to come with our best, man. For real. But you know, I'm on my lunch break or whatnot, man. Just want to tap in with y'all, holler at y'all real quick, man, because guess what? It's fall off season. You know, we entering in the fall solstice, but guess what, bro? It's not just the weather. It's not just the leaves that fall. A lot of people fall off of their journey. A lot of people fall off of their purpose. A lot of people fall off of their diets, their health, their fitness, their goals, all types of stuff. And what y'all got to understand is that it's harvest. You know, so what is harvest? That's when, you know, the people that farm and plant, you know, they food, they vegetables and all of that stuff. Listen, bro, all their hard work start to pay off. You know, they get to collect, you know, the things that they planted, the things that they worked hard on, they get to harvest that and take that in, you know, so they could eat it, so they could enjoy it, you know, so they could put it away, jar it, however, you know what I mean? Either way, it's like payday. You know what I mean? So when it's harvest like that, bro, it don't only mean just, you know, those type of goods. You know, you're going to have some people that's going to come around trying to harvest you. They're going to be trying to harvest your energy. They're going to be trying to harvest your life. They're going to try to take the things that you worked hard for all summer. You know what I mean? That's what the adversary come to do, bro. That's what these Satan seeds come to do, bro. Steal, kill, and destroy everything that you worked hard for. You know what I mean? So you got to think about it, bro. Like, think about all of the stuff that you had to do in order to get to where you at right now. You know what I mean? You had to work all summer, all year long. You know, you had to be the one at the gym. You know, you had to be the one that till that ground and plant those seeds. You know, water that so you could grow. Water yourself so you could grow. You know, so how would you feel like you put in all of this work just for somebody to come take it away? And for what? You know what I mean? For what? So you got to really be paying attention during fall off season. Because it's not just the people that's going to try to do that. It's not just the adversary that's going to try to do that. It's this whole matrix that try to do that. You know what I mean? Just with the holidays, they will try to do that. You know, knowing that you put in work in your health. You know what I mean? Knowing that you put in work spiritually, bro. So you could draw closer to the Most High. So you could walk with the Hamashiach. So what will they come with? Demonic holidays. You know, what will they come with? You know, feasts and things that you shouldn't even be partaking in. You know, and that's why it be so crazy. Like when you think about it, like after the fall off season and you see people when around the time where, you know, it start back getting lighter outside, you know, springtime come around, you start to see the light. You know what I mean? The light comes back. And then when you see people, you know, that you may have seen before fall off season and they was on top of their stuff, you know what I mean? They was doing their thing. But then when you see them next year come springtime in that light, something ain't right. You know what I mean? They don't look how they look before fall off season. You know what I mean? Now, you know, it'd be like one of those like, dang, what happened to you? And you don't never want to be in that position where people asking like, dang, what happened to you? What happened to bro? You know what I mean? In high school, you was the man, homie, like kind of like one of them type of things, bro. But it wasn't high school. It was just, you know what I mean? Just summertime. You was good. But you know what? You got to understand, bro, like that's what this season is designed for. You know, it's to harvest you. That's why a lot of people lose their life in this season too, in these times too. Because a lot of lives start to get harvested too. You know what I mean? You got to understand the adversary will come to get you if you ain't on top of your stuff, bro. You know what I mean? If you allow, these times to like really like just distract you and take you off your grind, take you out of the spirit and have you in your flesh, yeah, bro, that could literally mean your death. So you really want to be paying attention in these times. You really want to put on your spiritual glasses and don't take them off during these times. And I get it, bro. Like, a lot of times, man, we gonna still, you got some people that's gonna still celebrate the holidays. I'm not here to beat you down about that because I know how tough it is to pull away from these things. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in the household to where, this is just what I do. I stepped away from that, but at the end of the day, I still want to keep the peace. At the end of the day, I still let my daughter know the truth. My girl know the truth. And guess what, bro? Over time, over the last few years, things have gotten easier because they understand me. They know what time it is with me. So they do what they do. As long as they know the truth and how I feel, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it is what it is. So if you still partake in that stuff, just be careful, bro. Just be careful with where you going, the people you around, and stay locked in on your journey. Stay locked in with your health. Stay locked in the spirit. Listen, bro, stay locked in on your purpose because all these things all they are is distractions. You know what I mean? To take you off of your square. That's all it is, bro. And this is the season for it. How you spending all your money up that you done saved up for and worked all hard for it. For what? That's all they want you to do, bro. That's all this matrix wants you to do. And it's like, you got to think about it like, bro, like, when you wake up to this truth, bro, you kind of feel salty because you realize that you've been used. You realize that you've been played. You know what I mean? All to just do what everybody else is doing. And that's why scripture tells us in Jeremiah 10:2, learn not the way of the heathen. Learn not the way of the heathen. We ain't supposed to be doing what everybody else do. Every time we do what the world do and what everybody else do, it costs us tremendously. It costs us financially. It costs us health-wise. You know what I mean? It costs us our goals. In some cases, it costs people their lives. It costs people their salvation, bro. Because he called us out of this world. The Most High called us out of this world. Yahushua says it in John 17:13 through 17:17. We are not of this world. So every time we partake in it, whether it's the holidays, whether it's with pornography, whether it's with, just going out here, just doing the same stuff that everybody around these crowds and people that's not rocking with the Most High, that's not in the spirit. Listen, bro, it costs us, bro. You know what I'm saying? We end up paying the price for that because we know better. So it's very important for us to do better because we know what time it is. And the only reason I'm speaking on fall off season is because I fell off during this season. You know what I'm saying? So it's important for me to speak on it because I know all about it. And it sucks. It sucks. And then you be like, man, how did this happen? How did this happen? Yeah, bro. You got lost in the sauce. You got lost in Halloween. You got lost in Thanksgiving. You got lost in Christmas. You know what I mean? And you just fell off, bro. That's what happened, bro. You got lax. You got distracted. This is what these times is made for. It's what it's built for. You know what I mean? Because of the weather, you're going to have people coming up with excuses for why they not hitting the gym. Because of the holidays, you're going to have people come up with excuses for why they not eating right, why they not on their diet. You know what I mean? You're going to have people, using all of this stuff for why they spending recklessly. You know what I mean? Like, listen, bro, like, it's clear as day now. But a lot of people not hip to this. A lot of people don't don't got on these spiritual bifocals, you know what I mean? So guess what? You know, they gonna end up in this same cycle of falling off around these times, making excuses around these times. You know what I mean? and right now just ain't the time to be messing around, man. We seeing too much going on right now. You know, too much going on right now for us to allow ourselves to be distracted in the same old stuff. Man. Scratchy throat. And the same old stuff, man. So, you know, like literally, man, just use your discernment. Use your discernment in these times, man. So, you know, so you come out on top at the end of this. You know what I mean? You come out on top next year. You know what I mean? You wanna go into this season good and then come out better. That's the goal. You wanna go into this season good and then come out better. Not go into the season good but then come out bad. You know what I mean? Come out word like, dang. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all on you. And you're going to have people that's going to try to pull you into that space because they know you've been locked in. That's the crazy part. You're going to have people trying to pull you into this space because they know you've been locked in. A lot of these women know you've been locked in. So guess what, bro? Because they know you've been locked in, because they know, you know what I mean, that you a good person, you a good dude, they're going to try to come back around. You know what I mean? Trying to pull you down. You know what I mean? Just because they wasn't locked in, just because they wanted to be out there all summer. You know what I mean? Being hot and all of that stuff. And then they want to come bring that to you. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. Think of how would that make you feel? Like, you know what I mean? You might, you know, these be women that you was interested in. You know what I mean? These was women that you had interest in, that you probably reached out to them in a DM. You know, probably been trying to connect with them all summer. But guess what? They ain't want to rock with you. You was too good. You know what I mean? You didn't have the things that they want. You didn't have a reputation. You didn't have enough cash for them. You didn't have the looks for them and all that other stuff. But you mean to tell me now they want to rock with you because, you know, it's cold outside? Now they want to rock with you because they funds low and they got kids, or, you know what I mean? They need Christmas presents. They need shelter. They need all of that stuff coming around like lost puppies. You know, when they done been ran through and all of that. Nah, bro, you better than that. You got to tell yourself, man, say it to yourself right now. I'm better than that. Don't fall for what these Jezebels talking about, because they just trying to manipulate you. That's what the Jezebel spirit do. They going to pull that Nicki Minaj with you, sending you messages talking about, hey, big head. Don't fall for it, bro. Because she wasn't nowhere to be found when you was trying to get down, when you was trying to come around, when you was trying to be a light, when you was trying to, you know, do something right, you know what I mean? Trying to connect, you know what I mean? On a good level, on a spiritual level and all of that. She wasn't around, bro. She wanted to be out there. So you got to watch for them too. Watch for the Jezebel, the succubus, man. They just coming to rob you, bro. They coming to take advantage of you and manipulate you. And then, you know, for the ones that fall for it, come springtime, they going to be, oh, man, you know, you going to see them all blue in the gills. You're going to see them all face all down. You know, see them, they done fell off of their journey, they fell off of their health and fitness, you know, because they wanted to be laid up. Laid up just for that same chick to ditch you when the season changed. They got everything out you already. They done got the shelter. They done got the free food. They done got, you know what I'm saying, the support. They done got all of that stuff about you. You know what I mean? And guess what, bro? Now they out. Now they out you. You know what I mean? They got what they wanted out you. Now they out you. They done with you. All right? So don't fall for these little tricks, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just to take you off your square. We ain't got time for that. All right? And that's my word, man. My name is Sinn, the Sinn-Take. Holla at y'all later, man. Peace.